My name is Brenton Meston. I'm aged 19. My profession is working on the farm. This industry is important because it provides food to the population of Australia, other countries overseas, which also leads to Australia getting income for the produce we produce. During the days, we usually just do what needs to be done around the farm and make sure everything is in order. There's a bit of difference between living on a farm and in the city. Being on a farm, you get a lot more freedom to do things compared to living in the city. On the farm, the things you can do and enjoy are various compared to the city. In the country, you can go camping and light a fire, you can ride motorbikes, do metal and woodwork projects in the workshop, and you can do various other things that can't be done in the city. In agriculture, we focus mainly on farming grain and sheep. Different varieties of crops we grow: wheat, barley, canola, lupins, and sometimes oats. The sheep we farm are mainly sheared for wool, and later on in their life we sell them for them to be turned into meat. The process of preparing and growing a crop is a long process. We have to burn certain paddocks to get rid of stubble from the year before. Then we have to spray the paddock to kill any weeds and other plants that we do not need. During those processes, we work on preparing the tractor and the air seeder for seeding. This is a very long process and a lot of parts get used and get bought for this. Once all the processes above have been completed, we start the long task of seeding, which can take 1 to 2 months to finish. After seeding, we have to spread the crops that have been sowed with fertilizer or urea. Once that step has been finished, we just hope and pray for some rain. Once the crops ripen, we then start getting ready for harvest. Harvest usually lasts from the beginning of November to mid-December, a week or so before Christmas. Most days, we go to work at 8 and knock off at 5 to 5:30 on the weekdays. During these days, we usually just do what needs to be done around the farm and make sure everything is in order and working well to the best of its abilities. We start seeding at 6:30 to 7 in the morning. During our busiest time of the year, which are seeding and harvest, we start a bit earlier and finish a lot later. It isn't very fun starting at this time because it's autumn and going into winter, making it a bit fresh in the mornings and cold. Some of the main struggles of being a farmer is when machinery decides to play up or a part decides to break. Another struggle is the weather. The weather plays a big part in how well our crops will yield grain for the year. Some years we might not get enough rain and we go into a drought, and that affects our water usage because our water is pumped from the ground and collected from the sky. Another thing is hailstorms and fire, which affects crops and leads to grain or crops being lost or damaged. When I'm not farming, some of the hobbies or pastimes I like to do is read, play games, hang out, catch up with friends or family, and play sport. The sports I do are AFL in the winter and cricket in the summer. These sports are usually played on the weekends, with footy being on the Sunday and cricket on the Saturday. During our busiest times of year, you barely get a weekend because you're either working on Saturday or Sunday. Another issue is the lack of people coming into the agriculture industry to work. I'd like to see more people come into this industry to work or take an interest in it in the future. I'd also like to see a new technology and equipment being produced for farming in the future to make things easier and more efficient for farmers.